It's 104.8 Channel 4. Sean hanging out this afternoon, and let's bring you in to Smart Moves in Real Estate, brought to you by Property Finder, of course. And today we're diving in to buying a home in the UAE. We've spoken about renting. Now let's talk about what every buyer should know. We've got to bring in the experts here because I don't know what I'm talking about. Simon Banker is the Managing Director of Haus. He joins me this afternoon. Hello, Simon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Thank you for joining me, mate, and sharing your expertise with me. So let's start with market indicators. So what market indicators should I look for, or should a listener look for when considering buying a property?
Well, I guess it depends if you're looking for investment or looking to buy to live in. But if we start with buying to live in, then it should be all about trying to find a place that, suits your requirements, fit your family's requirements, and looking at schools and work locations and all these things to establish, the very best community. And from there, trying to dial into which community ticks all your requirements. Facilities, the biggest developers here, making these integrated communities are very well managed, and they've got everything from schools and shops and everything that you need in day-to-day life, really.
All right, what if I'm looking at investing? What kind of things am I looking at, Simon?
When it comes to investing, you really need to look at, what your outcomes for the investment are, whether you're looking for purely capital growth or whether you're looking at a rental income play. Rental incomes here, the average rental return in Dubai is currently 6.8%. So it's a very, very attractive market to buy for renting out. You can produce you a really solid return. It can be very easy to cover your mortgage payments with that. So, and really establishing, what the long-term outlet for the property is really important when you're getting into it.
Now, there's a couple of properties that buyers can buy here in the UAE. There's off-plan and there's ready properties. Can you start by just defining exactly what those mean, and then explain what kind of factors should buyers consider when choosing between the two?
Yeah, of course. So when it comes to off-plan properties, obviously they're properties that are being sold typically before the construction's even started. So the biggest developers here will launch a project. Once all the plans and all the pretty brochures are in place, then they will literally go to market. And in a lot of cases at the moment, they're selling very, very fast. So the whole project will typically be sold out, and then it would be something like 3 to 4 year timeline until that completion. So obviously they will have different payment plans, and there's lots of different variables. You just need to look at what suits for you, what suits with your budget, what suits with your what fits the requirements in terms of payment plans through the construction process, to make sure that it's something that's manageable. You should never bite off more than you can chew, if you like.
Sure. No, absolutely. Now, let's talk about government initiatives, things like long-term visas. Can they benefit property buyers?
They certainly can, yes. So golden visas has been more recently, the investment requirement for a golden visa, which is your 10-year to buy visa, has been reduced to just 2 million dirhams. So you could buy a property, even off plan now, and as long as you've made the first payment and you've made the registration payment, you could obtain that 10-year golden visa through just a property of just 2 million dirhams. So that's become more and more accessible to more people, which is fantastic.
That is great. Now, I want to put myself in a buyer's shoes. I've found a home. I'm not sure if it's right for me or not. Do you have a couple of questions that maybe I should ask myself just to lock in that it's definitely the right choice?
Well, I think if you're looking for a ready house, you really need to make sure that you're buying something. As I said, location. Does it work for you for work? Does it work for school location? You got friends and maybe family in that kind of location, and then to make sure that on top of that, it's something that's within budget. You've something that if you're buying with a mortgage, the mortgage payments are sustainable, manageable amounts on a long-term basis. So those are the primary things I'd look at.
Mate, you have been great. Thank you for the intel. If you want to check out and have a chat with Simon Haus, he's the Managing Director there. Simon Banker, thank you for your time this afternoon, mate.
Pleasure. Thanks so much for your time.
And, of course, join us next week as we explore more on smart moves in real estate. Brought to you by Property Finder, of course, the region's leading property portal at Channel 4.